If you're planning to get married, or if you know of a friend who's getting married, I have the perfect event for you to go to. And joining me today to talk about the event are Sandra and Mary Tizone. Thank you so much for joining me here today. And it smells so good here. What's going on? What is this event that we're telling everyone about?
Well, we're very, very excited about every show that we do. We have two fabulous shows coming up at the Albany Marriott Hotel, who has been hosting shows of ours for 31 years. And our first event is coming up on June 23rd.
And this is the Bridal Expo.
A Bridal Expo,
okay.
Right. And it runs from 5:30 in the evening until 8.
And where is it taking place?
That's at the Albany Marriott in the Empire Room and Terrace.
Okay.
So this is a smaller show with about 30 exhibitors.
Okay.
And the attendance usually has about 300 total, because the brides and grooms will bring in parts of their wedding party. And about 87 brides attended last year. But there's always a nice attendance for middle of the week evening.
And Mary, Sandra, how long have you been doing this for?
31 years of shows, but 33 years of being in business with the advertising agency.
And Mary, you're also joining, you've joined your mother?
Yes, I've been part of the shows since I was a teenager, but my mom and I partnered about 8 years ago and decided to do this together. And so I'm still learning as I'm going, but...
and what's so exciting about the bridal shows? I mean, I could see, like, as soon as you brought this in today, I thought they were actually real, but they're not. They're not real. They're cupcakes. I
From
don't know if you
Joan's
can
Cake
see them.
Chateau. Joan is one of our, she's a good friend actually, and one of our vendors that has been participating since our very first show. She does an amazing job. We love this because it could be used as a centerpiece for bridal shower or any other event. And it also can be eaten after as a cake. So
and they're delicious.
And it's delicious. Oh, we love her cupcakes. They're absolutely delicious.
Very creative. Do you see, I mean, do a lot of brides order these?
Oh, it's really probably the best kept secret in the Capital Region, even though she's been in business a good 30 years as well. But when the brides come in, they're just amazed, just like you say, it looks like real flowers.
Right.
And then to be able to eat them. And on the way over, we had the cupcakes in the back part of the car, and Mary said, "Oh, I can smell those cupcakes." They smell so
smell
good.
delicious.
So we're going to be leaving those with you today,
Oh,
too.
gee. And you have a beautiful bouquet.
This is from Lennon's Florist. They're located in Latham on Route 7. Brenda from Lennon's does a beautiful job, as you can see.
And Sandra, you said you had 30 vendors last year?
Right. That's about what will be every year at the summer show. The show that we do in January, there's nearly 100 vendors.
Oh, wow. How do you decide, like, who's going to be a vendor? Is it...
Well, many of the vendors were there in the first show that we did, and they're still there. You know, just like Joan and Rich Miller, who's with Colony Country Club. Melosi's is in the show. The vendors there's a huge variety of the different types of people that are there. Bridal Gown by Yvonne, and there are also some unique things that you'll find at the shows.
Like the cakes?
The cake. This was done by Quishan Bakery, and they're located on Lark Street in Albany. You cannot walk in. They got so busy with doing wedding cakes that they stopped the walk-in business. Wow. But you can also see all of these people at the shows that we do. They also have a magnificent presentation with a spun sugar shawl, I would say, that a bride can wear.
Oh, wow.
And then her guests can go over and just take a little piece of it, and it just looks like flowers that are surrounding the bride.
I mean, not exactly like this, but the same...
Different. They're all clear.
Okay.
You know, it's sugar.
And the bride wears that throughout the day?
The bride can wear it, or one of her guests can wear it, and it's just very unique. And they did show that at the January show, and it will be back again in January. It's quite elaborate, even to put it together.
Why is it a good idea if someone is planning to get married, bride and groom, is it a good idea to go to these bridal expos, and why?
Well, I think the main reason is that everybody's in one room. and they really can go through and get their whole wedding set. Another big factor is that many of the vendors are giving discounts. So it's a great way for them to save money as well. And there's many photographers to choose from, so if there's a popular date that you're having your wedding, you have an option of going to several of the other very well-known wedding professionals that are participating in the events.
And you've been doing this for 31 years, so tell us any exciting, unique experiences when it comes to brides and grooms. And
lots of fun things that have happened at the shows. Couples have been engaged.
At the Bridal Expo?
At the expo. We
No
had
way.
a groom come in one time, and we had no idea why he was walking around in a tuxedo carrying long stem red roses. And he was frantic as he's walking through because he had worked things out with his future mother-in-law to bring the bride to the show, but they were not officially engaged as yet. And it was on Valentine's Day. So he proposed to her there at the show. We've also married couples there.
At the show?
At the show. One of the first couple that we did, they've been married 30 years, still together,
Wow.
beautiful family. And some other fun things.
One that sticks out in my mind is we had one year baby Bengal white tigers at the show, and they were quite a hit. Also had a Black Panther there.
Really?
Yeah. Kind of different for a bridal show, but it was an attraction.
What's the, like, they bring them to the wedding?
No, the brides would take pictures with the little tiger, who was only 3 months old. And actually, the Panther had opened for Bob Mackie Perfume in New York City, did a runway, and it was supposed to be the finale for the fashion show, but security wouldn't allow him out of the cage.
Wow.
So, but he just beautiful to look at.
Wow. Now, do you talk about fashion show? Do you also have a fashion show as part of your bridal shows, or?
For many, many years, we did have a staged fashion show.
Okay.
And we found that when the couples come in and they know there's going to be a fashion show, they want to go in and they'll quick walk through everything and then go and sit and wait for the fashion show to happen. And then they up and leave after.
Right. So they miss everything that's around there.
So now we do live models doing mannequin modeling.
Oh.
And that way it doesn't take away from, and there are no chairs out in the middle of the room,
it sounds
so it
great.
doesn't take away from all the other vendors that are there and wedding professionals.
And I mean, this business is very competitive. I've gone to, bridal expos, and there's tons of photographers, tons of, beautiful
Yeah.
cakes. And how can you set yourself apart?
Well, being the longest running show in the Capital Region, we have some huge sponsors. The Go-To Guide is one of our major sponsors, Capital Region Living Magazine, Brides Northeast, which is Gil Slocum's publication. Yeah. Plus, it's the Albany Marriott. It's on Wolf Road. In fact, another very exciting event that we had there was 18 degrees below zero.
Okay.
It was in January. We're always one of the first shows that happen in the new year. And we had 587 brides, over 2,500 people.
Wow.
But that was real early on, I'd say maybe 28 years ago. There were only a couple people that were doing bridal shows at that time, but now I think within a 12-month period you're going to find 30 or more happening.
Right. And again, to remind our viewers, it's on June 23rd, and the times again?
5:30 until 8, free admission.
Okay. And then you have also January 3rd.
Right.
That's bigger.
January 3rd is nearly 100 vendors.
Okay.
That runs from usually around 11 o'clock until 4. We sometimes start at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And they start setting up the night before. But it's very exciting. They bring in 2 Rolls Royces right in the main ballroom at the Marriott. And it's just so much fun. Really very exciting for brides and couples to come in and spend the afternoon, and lots of good food to eat.
And exciting for you too, right?
Yes.
To see all this happening and making dreams come true.
We love it. We love to see the brides happy. That's when they're the happiest, when they're coming in and they're picking out all their services, and they bring in their bridal parties with them, and it's just a
And a lot
fun
of the
couple
bakeries, you can sample. You can actually sample the stuff, right? That's the best part.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anything you would like to add?
Well, just like to thank the people that allowed us to bring in some of the samples here for us today. Krishan Bakery and Jones Cake Chateau and Lennon's.
They're beautiful.
That's just a sample, you know, of what you're going to see at the bridal show. And our vendors and wedding professionals, which they like to be called, and they certainly are.
The experts.
Yeah, we're very careful about who we allow to come into the shows. They must have a good reputation. And again, if they've been in business for 25, 30 years, they're doing something right.
Right, exactly. That's great. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
Our
you
pleasure.
Thank you. And if you would like to see this interview again, just go to looktvonline.com.